That's Lilly Hiatt from her new album, Forever. It's her first in 4 years. A lot has changed in that time, and we find Lilly in her new home just outside of Nashville, ready to talk about those changes and that new album.
No, I have a dog and a husband, and we have our own space. And I'm responsible for more than I was when I made my last record. So before this, so yeah, don't live right in the city anymore, which has been a change. And
Right.
of course, from 2020 to 2025, lots has changed globally. So there's that too.
Yes.
so,
Yes.
so
So,
yeah.
so when did you start writing the songs that would become Forever?
Well, the first one written for Forever was Man. I didn't know it was going to be on that record. I just wrote it, but that was 2021. And
Okay.
the rest were kind of written in 2023, 2024, throughout that time period. So, yeah.
Right. And so you and your husband kind of put the tracks together yourselves. Tell me how the two of you work together to make it happen.
For sure. I would like have a song, take it to him. He'd start getting kind of a tempo down for it. We would record um, my rhythm part and some drums, and then just build off of that. So um, it was pretty just. I mean, I've made a lot of records in that sequence before in terms of tracking, but the difference between this for me was that instead of using a live band, we were just using the two of us to make it the instrumental part. So he played most of the instruments on it, and we made it all in house except the first track. I made that with my friend Scott Sachs.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was like a separate entity. The song Hidden Day, and that happened before we recorded stuff in our space for Forever. So
Right.
that was kind of a catalyst for it.
Right. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
I did that at Scott's home. Yeah.
That one's got kind of a psychedelic vibe
So
to it.
yeah,
What was that? What you were going for?
the first song,
Yeah.
the whole record, or the first one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hidden Day.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't really know what we were going for. That's kind of what Scott brought out in it. And this guy, John DeBon, who mixed it, they took it to that place. And the people that played on it, that was a live band or a full band on that one. So, yeah, like when we got the mix back, I was like, whoa, I think a lot of that was John DeBon who mixed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Very good. And when you're
Love
working,
the psychedelic.
yep. Yeah, well, that's why I call my platform is called the 13th floor after the 13th floor elevators. So you can't get more psychedelic than that, can you?
No, you really can't. And I figured, so that's really cool.
So I got to wonder, you've made lots of records before, as you alluded to, but working with your significant other has got to have some pluses and minuses. What might they be?
Well, we work pretty well together. I think like that's just something we kind of lucked out with in our partnership. It's like, oh, because I've definitely had situations previously where I wouldn't have done that with a partner, but no, I mean, the pluses are that it's just like somebody that knows you and loves you, so they want the best. and
Right.
and Coley, my partner, is super talented, so that's cool. But I would only the minuses of working in a house, I would say, is you really have to make a boundary with separating that from just leisure time and joy, or else it'll all merge and it'll be hard to know when to put the work down and just have fun. so
Yeah.
so that's just something to learn. So
Very good. And now you have a tune called Evelyn's House, which features some
uh-huh.
pedal steel on it. So I love hearing the pedal steel in there, and I'm just wondering who Evelyn is or was.
Well, the cool thing about that, is Evelyn is a ghost from our past house. We named her Evelyn. We named her Evelyn. So that's who Evelyn is. She lived in the ice machine, and
As you do.
she she had our back, and she really did. And I'm glad you brought up the pedal steel because that's actually Coley's dad, Steve Henson.
Oh,
He's a steel player, so the steel is him. That's my father-in-law playing pedal steel on it.
yep.
So
Yeah, and it's kind of cool because you got pedal steel, which is always kind of immediately connected with country music and all that. But this is definitely not a country music record, and even the tracks with the pedal steel are not on it. So when people ask
cool.
you, what kind of music do you play? Is it alt this or something that or whatever? How do you respond to that?
I've said so many different things, and like, I mean, songwriter. At this point, I'm just kind of like, yeah, it's like country rock,
Uh-huh.
Americana, like type of stuff. That's kind of what I say because I mean, just I figure that's where it fits best. Those are all the things I kind of get associated with. So I used to be really into not like genreing myself, but now I'm just like, it's like country rock, like
Okay.
because it's kind of got a little of both to me. So alt rock kind of thing. So
All righty. Now you got a tune called Quickie Mart, which you've made a nice video for. And I also noticed that you did some treatment on your vocals and stuff. So I'm wondering, uh, is that something you enjoy doing to yourself as far as playing around with what your voice can sound like due to distortion and other things and just the making the video look like fun as well.
oh yeah, well, I'm glad. I feel like that came together with the visuals and the audio. That's Coley messing with vocal effects, and I'm pretty laid back about that stuff. I think
Right?
it's really fun, and I was like, oh, I love Soundgarden, like I love Black Hole Sun. Like it kind of reminded me of an effect I heard in that, and
Oh yeah.
I don't always hear like people take those chances just with songwriter stuff. So I'm like, that's cool. Like I love that he'll do that. And then the video was my friend Joshua Shoemaker. He just we just got he improved that idea, but he's super visual and very talented. And we just kind of were winging it with that, with a little base of where we wanted to go, but he had an outline for it. But then we just kind of got out there and walked around with the cameras, and he had cool different cameras, and uh, yeah, we were like, let's just make a vibey video that kind of matches the song. So I'm
Right.
glad you think that.
And you also did one for Shouldn't Be, which is kind of it seems like an autobiographical song, more so possibly than the others. And
Yeah.
I see you got some t-shirts in there that might be available on your merch table. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I've got to get some merch designs together. And actually, that the video director Joshua made those, and they were really cool. So I might have to see if he'll let me make a batch of T-shirts with his design.
Right. And anything you can include about the song itself? What would you like to say about it?
I mean, I think that song's like a little. I think of all the songs that like hint at like that song's me and it's personal, but it's also like kind of alluding to just greater things and the strife that we experience collectively. So, but kind of trying to make it on a personal level, but it's kind of like a little, that song's kind of a little angry in the way of like, let's push through, like these ideals and stuff and change. So, yeah. But it's also supposed to be fun,
Right.
sing along to it. So, yeah.
Yeah. And when you're going to perform these songs live, how do you see them kind of playing out in front of people?
Well, we just got to kind of test that at 30A with my band, and
Yep.
I got the sense of how it was going to feel, and I was like, oh, this is going to be really fun because I have people in my band singing with me and a really joyful just vibe across the board. So I think it'll just be a good time, like So, but with some rock, a little heavier maybe than even ever before.
Yep,
So
it is. I was surprised at the heaviness, but pleased with it as well. It's good to hear somebody rocking out and just letting loose a few riffs here and there.
good. I'm glad you feel that way. It's like I've been doing that sort of thing for a while now, honestly, and I feel like this record really kind of is driving that home. So
Cool. And then
yeah.
I just was hoping we could touch on the final track, which is called Thoughts, which I think you mentioned you like to listen to the Sundays, and you got a little phone message from your dad in there, and there's like some solo instrument that I couldn't figure out if it was a guitar treated something. What's going on there?
That's a guitar.
Is it?
Yes. On the solo, yes, it is. With some effects that I don't know on them there. So that's what that is. And yeah, we thought that'd make a good closer. That was the last song I wrote of all the songs, so it just made sense for it to be the end.
Yep. Did you spend
So
much time on the track listing and the order of the record and all that stuff?
Um, I think there were a few variations of the sequence, but no, it didn't take that long to kind of. There are only 9 songs,
Yeah.
It was like, okay, like I can't honestly, I can't even remember how the track listing came together. I think it just wrote out a few and stuck with one. It's like making a set. It's like you want it to flow. So done that a lot. So I don't mull it over too hard
All
anymore.
right. Don't sweat it. Very good. Of course, the presidential inauguration happened yesterday. Did you pay attention to any of that stuff?
All I'm going to say about that is I was driving
Yeah.
home with my band and we talked about how we're ready to travel the country and play music because that's what we do. So we had some van talks and I've always kept my political beliefs out of my music, and there's a reason I do that. So I'll continue to do that, but I think my ideals are pretty clear if you listen to the songs. And I want to get out there and do what we do best and rock and take care of people, make people feel good, and have an environment that's inclusive and loving. So
Excellent. That sounds like a plan.
that's my plan. So
And do you have plans for the 31st on the day of your release? What are you going to do?
well, that is not only the release, but it just coincidentally is my husband and I's third wedding anniversary.
Woohoo.
So we got married at the end of January to just have something to look forward to. So I'll be playing a show at the Blue Room, and that's at Third Man Records in Nashville. So should be really fun. Should be fun.
It should be fun.
Playing with my band, and my husband will be there, and he'll jam out with us too. So yeah,
That sounds excellent. All right. Wish we could be there. Please come down to this part of the
me
world if you
too.
ever get a chance. We'd love to have you.
I would love to do that. So I can't wait till I get over there. So
All righty. Well, thanks for spending time with me and good luck with everything.
thank you so much. Likewise.
If you enjoyed this episode of the 13th Floor's Music Talk series, Please be sure to subscribe to the website or to the YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook or Instagram and wherever you find your podcasts. There's a whole lot more to discover.